the Dodge Dakota. This one in front of me is a 2003, and she's a one owner with, get this, 196,000 miles. This one clearly was someone's baby. Typically, these trucks are either rotted or ratted. They're practically the Nissan Altima of pickups. Y'all know what that means. And if you don't, it just means that they were typically owned by folks who just did not give a flying crap. They just beat the hell out of them. Clearly wasn't the case with this one. Now, this generation Dakota commenced in '97. It's considered the second generation, and throughout its production, there's been a variety of engines and transmissions offered. This is the 2003, so it's the second to the last year. This one's got the 4.7 liter V8 paired to a 5-speed automatic, so fairly decent powertrain. When it comes to small pickups of this size, this was, I think, the only one that offered a V8. And when these came into production, they did not yet have the Power Tech Series engines under the hood yet. They still made do with the older Chrysler engines, such as the 5.9, 5.2, and I think the 3.9, which is essentially just like the 318 V8 or the 5.2 with 2 less cylinders. And I think there was a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, which I think it was an American Motors engine that was used in Jeeps and whatnot. That thing was gutless. You don't even see those running anymore. You really can't say anything bad about its styling. I think it looks great. It's just a baby Dodge Ram. Imagine in '97 when this thing came out. I think it must have been the most attractive small pickup. And it most definitely was the most substantial of all the small pickups. Better than the Toyotas, Fords, anything. Let's take a look inside. You know, for being 20 years old and 196,000 miles, this interior is freaking amazing. It's kind of scary just how clean it is. You know, all the fabrics, no tears, the foam is intact, headliner's still holding up, no sags. Heck, it smells like a 25,000 mile truck. Let's crank this guy up. Throaty V8. Yeah, these 4.7s, they sound great. Like all the trucks that I've reviewed recently, you know, they've all been fairly bare bones, and this Dakota continues that tradition. Interior quality really isn't anything to brag about, but you know, it's held up very well considering everything is plastic like a Barbie. Everything's hard to the touch, just like the last truck I did. The only soft touch surfaces is the armrest on the door. It just has some cushion. And here, the armrest in the center. That's it. Otherwise, everything's hard as a rock. Of all the trucks in its class, I'd say the Dakota is the most spacious. I feel so comfortable in here. I don't feel claustrophobic or anything. This seat does have a decent elevation to it, so I don't feel like I'm sitting on the floor. You know, all the other trucks in its class, from every single automaker, they just feel small. And, you know, that's not a bad thing, but the Dakota delivered in terms of comfort, more so than everybody else. I'm 6'1", and, you know, this thing just has plenty of room. The combination of this truck is very interesting. You know, she's so bare bones, and yet it does have some interesting features that you wouldn't expect. You know, it does have AC. It does not have power door locks or power windows nor power mirrors, yet she does have a CD player and heated mirrors. You can see the little sign there. And up above on the overhead console, compass, temperature, you know, outdoor temperature, and even home link. It's like they go through all this trouble and yet they skip the power windows and locks. And then cruise control and fog lights. So yeah, this thing is just lacking just the basic power options. The driver's seat doesn't slide forward with the handle. You have to use the lever, but the passenger side, when you flip the handle, it will slide forward. But yeah, this doesn't have jump seats like an S10 or Ranger. It has like actual seats to sit in, and it does have quite a bit of leg room. It's still going to be tight for someone who's 6 foot tall, but you know, a smaller adult will fit comfortably in here for a short time. And that is impressive for a pickup in this class. The size of the bed to this Merper product, it's decent. It does not feel compact or anything. It almost has a full-size truck feel to it. You know, it's got a good height to it, yet it's still low enough for, you know, the average person to reach inside for their belongings. Look at the 4.7 liter V8. They still called it Magnum, but really in other models it was called the PowerTech, compared to the 5-speed automatic, and it really does help eke the power out of this thing. This one pumped out 230 horsepower, not a lot. It's basically almost identical power to Ford's 4.6 V8. Pumps out 295 foot-pounds of torque, which is respectable for a 2003 truck. But yeah, I mean, considering it doesn't have a whole lot of power, it really scoots this thing along. Oh, power. Just love how smooth this is. You know, every other truck, you know, that S10, that Ranger, you know, every single other small truck in this class does not have as smooth of an engine as this. I mean, you can call me biased because, you know, again, I'm a V8 person, and you know, but nothing beats the smoothness of a V8. No V6 or 4-cylinder will be smoother than a V8, and that's a fact. Now, in terms of the way this thing rides, it is so plush and comfortable. I feel like I'm in a nimble, full-size truck. This handles so much better than a Ranger or an S10, and forget about the Toyota and the Nissan. Those things feel like toys. The steering is nice and tight. Any little nudge and this thing just wants to dart that direction. Oh, let's do the floor. This engine sounds great. Tranny shifts beautifully. Can't believe that this thing has 196K on it. And if you don't want to drive it hard, just let the engine die down to near idle speeds and enjoy serenity. Yeah, I'm kind of exaggerating. It's a really quiet truck. These are so much quieter than everything else. Gearbox does a good job shifting. It doesn't feel lazy. You go up, it just downshifts quickly. You know, there's no lag like you'd feel in the Ford or Chevy. It's amazing how Chrysler was ahead with the gearbox in their small trucks. Even with the Colorado up to 2012 still made do with a 4-speed automatic, and Dodge already had this thing going since 2000, or I think a year before with this 5-speed automatic. You know, if you're in the market for a small pickup, you know, don't rule out a Dakota, an older one like this that's in great condition. They won't disappoint you, and they're easy trucks to fix. Parts are cheap, just like a Ranger or S10. In my opinion, these things were underappreciated even when they were sold back then. The Dakotas were always underappreciated. They were always last in everything. Everyone just paid attention to everybody else. Ford, Chevys, anything that the Japs made. No one ever cared about the Dakota. But I have a feeling that these trucks are slowly getting appreciated again. To be honest, I think all older American trucks are being appreciated again. You know, it's a reason why the S10s and Rangers are holding their value. And when there's a nice Dakota out there like this, I'm sure folks are willing to pay a pretty penny for them. This thing peels the wheels wherever you turn. Oh, just love the smoothness of this thing. But yeah, I hope you guys got a feel of this truck and perhaps now have a bit more of a sense of appreciation for these things. As, again, these trucks were so underappreciated. They still are. But yeah, that's about it with this video. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next used car. Oh no, I need gas. I'll see you guys soon.